because
Knock us.
it's going to be, this is a lot to talk about.
It's
I don't,
6 pages.
I'm going
Six
to say
pages.
very quick. Well done, Cynthia. I'm going to say something
Yeah,
very
except
quickly because of the nature of the movie and the state
yes,
of our country. We're going to
yes.
try
Yes,
not to get off topic, but it's going to
Oh,
happen.
come on.
We
it's
will
going to
try to keep
happen.
our off topics having relevance with the movie and what we're seeing in the movie. And
Yeah.
I may have to do a little extra administration on the chats. So
Oh,
if things get funky at any point, I'll let you
they're
know.
I'm not going to look at the
Okay,
chat because I get mad at those people,
You get
those
mad
I
at the
know.
okay.
weirdos that don't belong here. Sorry. Oh, somebody just lost their sound.
N- No, we're
Oh,
good.
No,
I thought I
no,
No,
we're
lost.
I'm
good.
just I just have itchy. You know what? I have really dry skin in the winter, so you see me doing
Me
this a
too.
lot. It's because my
Yeah.
dry skin is driving me crazy. Anyway,
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay. Let's go.
that yeah, it happens. Well, tomorrow I'm going for my big three. The vice grip, and I don't think I need to tell you what the vice grip. I'm going for my mammogram,
Oh
my
God, my
bone density, my bone density, and my CT low dose X-ray. My, because I was a smoker, so every
yeah.
year I
ah,
go for that X-ray, right, right. So of
gotcha.
course with the mammogram, yeah, I took a shower. And they say, no, don't put any lotions on or anything, and
Yeah.
my
No,
skin is so
Oh,
dry. Oh my
yeah.
god, it's like I have to put something on, but I'm not going to.
don't do it.
Oh,
All right.
I
So are we ready?
understand. We
We're
are
ready.
ready. We are talking tonight about a movie called White Bird. It is a Wonder story. If you haven't seen the movie Wonder, I highly recommend that, although it is
Yeah.
completely on a different level
Oh,
than
that.
this movie itself.
Yeah.
White Bird is the story of a young girl living in France who has she's Jewish, and this is the time of France early in the war. Not early. Well, think it is
I
relatively
think it was
early in the war.
19. I think it
Really,
was
it's just like
1939.
midway.
I think
It's during the Vichy
42.
government in
42.
it
France,
was
where
a 42. Yeah, okay, 42.
Yeah.
Yeah.
the Vichy government
It's so,
kowtowed to the Germans, and so they were hated
exactly.
later. But yeah, they were occupied by Germans, and it was ugly. It was very ugly.
Yes. And this is about her survival during the war in a
Right.
way that any Jews who did survive and stayed within Europe, or at least occupied Europe, survived, and that was being in hiding. And
Yeah.
I feel like that's a very relevant story now because in my mind, I'm wondering how many people are in hiding in this country
Exactly.
right
Right now.
now.
Right now.
So
Um,
I thought
this
it
is
was worthy
almost
of pulling up.
it's almost a retelling in the sense of the Anne Frank story and the Diary of Anne Frank. It's not the same, but it's along the same lines of how it feels to live hidden away and how
Yes.
just basically are trapped in this one space and you just have to make a life and survive. And one thing throughout this movie is that I just almost made me weep every time they said it was "Vive la humanité," "Vive la humanité,"
Yes. Long
because
live
they never
humanity.
gave up. Never gave up this the hope that the spirit of humanity would survive. I am sniffling because I just finished watching the movie. I
That's
just
what Jackie is
Oh,
saying right now. She just finished it, so
oh, she
crying
watched.
right now. Hi,
Yeah.
people.
yes.
She
Hi,
says so.
hi, peeps. No, I just like, oh, Cynthia, why didn't you finish this last night? just,
Well,
it's
Oh, I watched
it,
it a couple weeks ago. Yeah.
I'm gonna
It
watch it again. I'm gonna watch it tomorrow.
Oh yes. Oh
It
yes, definitely.
once again,
Definitely. Because you to take everything in. There was so much there.
done.
It's you have to I think you have to watch it two, maybe even three times
Oh,
just to get all of it in.
it's
It's not
it's beautiful.
entertainment. It's not.
No,
It's more
no.
like a reflection. Definitely a reflection
it is.
of, what
It's
people could, we saw the part of the people that would help no matter what would happen to them,
right.
okay, to help somebody like a girl like her, but also how some people would turn their friends in just to show that I
Yeah.
want to be like that soldier. And what does that, well, what does
It's
that remind us
compliance.
of?
Complacency or compliance. One of the two. And
Cowards.
those are the
They're
two
cowards.
C's you want
Right,
to stay away from.
right,
All
right.
they're cowards.
So yeah, it was
And cowardly.
so. So sad, so sad. And it happened. I mean, it happened so much,
Yeah, this
and
this is a
it's happening
representation of a very
again.
common story for those who were lucky enough to survive.
Yes.
Yes,
One thing,
yes.
Gillian Anderson, I think this was the finest performance of her career so far. You know, she's not dead yet.
No,
I
she's
think
not.
she's brilliant in this. She is.
Yes.
You don't even realize it's her at first, and except that I knew who it was because I
Oh,
read.
yeah.
Right, 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 right.
And of course Helen Mirren is exquisite.
Oh my gosh.
Yes,
Oh
very
my
good.
gosh.
That
My
woman.
I mean, she's always been a great
Yes.
actress, but it
Yeah.
seems like she's coming more and more into her own now as
Yeah.
an older actor.
Yes.
yes.
You know,
She's
she's
beautiful,
in more and more movies now.
gorgeous. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, she, you know. The other thing is, once again, my favorite subject, cinematography. This is an exquisitely beautiful film to watch because the cinematography is just lovely all throughout. You know, I love the way the camera frames the scenes. I love the way the scenes are set up, and just the filming in general is just exquisite. You know, I can't say that too many times, I don't think.
Well, you
But
know what they
Yeah.
do? The
No.
camera has slight movement to it, so
yeah,
it's not still. It's even though it's not an action scene, it is life. It is living, and I love when they do that because it sort of gives a little extra depth to it. It's like if you were watching it, you don't sit perfectly still when you watch something. You're moving around a little bit. So, yeah, I like that. So the story starts off. It's a backdrop of a grandmother telling her grandson who was expelled from one school
right.
for bullying, basically one
Yes.
child, and he started at a new school. And the grandmother decides that this is the perfect time to tell her grandson her story of survival. And
Right.
the grandmother's story is the one we're going to be following.
Yes.
And so we meet Sarah and her
Yes.
family, the Blooms, and they are a pretty simple family, well educated. They are I would say middle class, not upper middle class, but
Her
middle
father's a
class.
physician or a doctor of some sort.
And her mother is a professor of mathematics, so they're doing well. She's very excited about her new shoes and her
Yeah.
new jacket, and she's very much a girly girl of the time.
Yes. Yes.
And we get to meet them very quickly and her little town as she introduces her grandson to. This is my village, and what was the Auberville Albois?
Oh
I
Lord.
think my
Where's my
pronunciation is not going to be great, but I did try to write some of this down. And you get the sense that it's a small village,
yeah.
and other kids from other small villages nearby come and all go to this school, which it is a Christian school. I'm not sure, or a Christian run school. I
It
don't
was
know
a
if it's
Catholic.
Catholic.
It was a
Okay,
Catholic school. Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
I'm not great with my differences in the Christian faiths. There's a lot
Yeah.
of them.
Right.
So,
Right.
so right there, you get the idea that this is an open community. Okay, we've got everybody, all the kids going to the same school. There is no difference as to who you are, where you came from.
Right.
Getting
Right.
the education is the important thing to the community
Normal
and to
life.
the parents.
Yeah.
Love that.
Right.
All right, I've set us up. Go on, Cynthia. I know you got 6 pages
Oh,
of notes.
no. No,
I
I just
have none. I have none. So good for you.
yeah,
No,
okay.
you cut in and just let us know what you're thinking at times, Vita. It's all good.
You got it. Yep.
I just
So we
know
had the
Cynthia, and
loser.
she's 6 notes.
Well, the loser table. This is with her grandson at the beginning because we're seeing how he's developing these bad human characteristics, and it's like, what this punk ass kid, and then talk about, well, you're sitting at the loser table, and how many times, I don't know how many times I've heard that in my life because I was bullied, four eyes and all.
Yeah. Yeah.
But so we're introduced to Julian and Dylan, and I. The juveniles here.
Well, we got Vincent, who is Sarah's crush, and then she's got
Vincent,
2
well,
friends.
Vincent's the
And
Well,
bad
yeah,
guy.
he was
Vincent,
like the well,
he-
you would attest to say like almost like the football star. Everybody thought that he
Right.
was a cool kid.
right,
Yeah.
right,
He's the popular kid. She has a little
Right.
crush on
Right.
him and even drew his picture. She's an
Right.
artist,
Right.
as Cynthia was pointing out before we
yes,
started. She's an artist. She enjoys putting pen to paper and making
yes,
something beautiful. And then we had Vincent's friend who, what was his name? Jerome, who's also a bully, but not, I would say, not as deep in.
Not quite
He
as
was
deep.
just he was just a follower.
Yeah,
He was a follower.
he's a follower. You know, he just yeah, he does have his one little moment of almost redemption at the very end, but not
right,
quite.
right. Yeah.
Okay, now he really gone. Sound's gone. Katie,
My sound is gone?
your sound is gone, folks.
No, I hear
My
her.
sound,
It says no, her
my
sound
sound
isn't
is not
Did
gone, I
get them all?
swear.
No.
I keep bouncing between 72 and 64, but it's not
Katie,
gone.
can you hear her?
I hear her.
My sound is on. Is it me? Do I need to
Cynthia,
leave
your
and come
ears are
back?
gone.
Okay, I can't read lips. Do I need to leave and come back? Shake your head yes or no. Is it me
Sure.
or you? Okay. I'll be right back. Bye.
We'll
Reboot.
see what happens.
Reboot.
It happens. See, I'm watching my sound. I think we're doing all right. But yeah, we
I'm
get to know Sarah's class. She's got a really great teacher. What was her name again? I wrote it down so that Pettigene. Mademoiselle Pettigene, which I thought is just like the coolest name. And Jackie says she can hear me. I trust Jackie. So does Sandra. Hi, Sandra. How you doing, hon? We are okay. So we get to meet the kids. We get to meet the class. We get to see her day-to-day life. Go to school. Go to her parents.
Her
go
girlfriends.
home. Her girlfriend. And as she said, she's more worried about her social life, her clothing, and that kind of stuff. Because you're just your average teenage girl, really.
Right. Right.
And so I like that they took time to do that, to really let us get to know her family. But fairly immediately, we see them at the dinner table, and there's concern. There's concern because the father is very worried that the changes coming about are going to affect them, that it's dangerous for them now. And their poor mother, Rose, is convinced that it's not a big deal, that it won't affect them. They are in the
Well, she
free
was in
area.
denial. He was in
Yeah,
denial.
very
It's
much
not
so.
going to happen here. It's not going to happen here.
and unfortunately she's very wrong. Some of the things that they talk about throughout, though, is that 13,000 Jews are arrested in Paris when they're having these discussions, and almost immediately the way the town treats young Sarah as she is coming home from school is, I mean, it's very evident. uh,
Yes.
the the moment that she goes to that bakery, I was watching this with my daughter last night, and she's just, baffled that she's like, what does it mean? We don't serve Jews anymore. What does it mean? And I said exactly that. If you were Jewish, you could not go purchase things in stores where that sign was up. If you needed food to feed your family, too bad. If you needed new shoes, too bad. Now, she was just going to get a treat, and you could probably survive without a treat, but either way, it's still unfair treatment simply because of how you, of your faith. And that really baffles her. Even though she's been listening and kind of watching some of the news reports going on now, she's just like, I don't get it. Why? I don't understand. And that's
There she
really
is.
it. There is a big
Where
one.
how far did you guys get? I'm sorry. The nice thing
I-
about me fucking up like that is that you guys get to talk without me and have a few words said.
Yeah, we're almost done, Cynthia. We're about ready to
Yeah,
sign
we're
off.
almost done talking about you. Yes, yes, yes. Your ears were burning, huh?
No, I know. Yeah, that would. What is that called when you are like you're the only person? There's a name for it. The term.
You're
not the star.
an only person?
Like you're the only person in the story. It's a saying they have now. Oh Christ, I can't think of the two words. It's just two words, and I can't think of them.
Oh, I know what you mean.
Not first person. Anyway, it's like you're not the
You're the
basically
main character.
Main character syndrome. That's the one. Thank you. I knew you'd know.
It's not a syndrome. It's my reality. I am the main character of my story.
Well, you are.
Me.
Your show, yeah.
You're the main
We're all
character in your story.
Characters of our own stories.
Yes,
right.
exactly.
On stories, yes. So
No, we were the signs
talk-
going up and her going to the bakery is where I was at.
Oh, so you're in the past already. We didn't.
We're
we finished
still, yeah.
Well,
We did
yeah,
the family
yeah. Well, she
introduction.
was. Yeah. Okay. Was it at the dinner table? This is one part where I think I know what her father meant when he said this, but I wasn't sure when he told. What did he tell her to wear the red shoes to
He told
school?
her
He
not
told
to
her to
wear
wear
her
the
suit
Oh, he told
boots.
her not to wear the red shoes.
because he
Okay.
knew
All
what was
right.
coming.
Yeah.
He knew
He didn't
what
want
was
her to
happening.
stand out.
Well, no,
Well, not only that,
he.
he knew she might have to run. He knew she might have to run. You can't do in those
Oh, all
frickin' red.
right. Okay. Okay.
It was not uncommon for folks to kind of have a backup plan, whether it was at
Yeah,
schools or at factories or wherever there was, people with a conscience were around. They would have a
right,
plan to try to get the Jews out if there
right.
was any kind of warning whatsoever to put them in hiding somewhere. Whoever they could save, they were trying to save. And in this case, it was the school and the children.
Yeah.
And and
Well,
so my guess would be that her dad knew that the teachers had a plan in effect.
yes,
And
to get the
Right.
so
kids out.
that
Yeah, yeah.
Well,
yeah,
I don't know if you guys remember the movie Schindler's List.
Yes, of
absolutely.
course.
And remember, it was almost all, it was all black and white, except they had that one little girl that
In the red
had
coat.
the red coat. So I
Yeah.
didn't know if there was something about, you know, really bringing up the
Oh,
red.
Oh no,
That
I didn't. Other than the fact that red stands out, it's like don't ever buy a red sports car unless you want to get a lot of tickets. Kind of.
right,
well, her shoes were probably red in the movie so that you would take notice, as the
Yeah,
viewer, you would take notice that those are different than her regular
right.
everyday boots that she wore through the
right,
winter.
right, right, right.
And she had the boots with her. It's not like she couldn't have put them on. Or
Right.
I think she
Yeah.
switched shoes, right? Yeah.
Yep, I said Shirley's like, so she listened to her dad, she's wearing her boots. I said, so far. And so we watched her change her shoes. I am guilty
Yeah,
of doing exactly that with shirts when I was at school. I didn't change into crop tops or anything, but my mom and dad had a strict rule that I was not allowed to wear any concert or band shirts to school. So like I had a Bon Jovi T-shirt that all it was John Bon Jovi's face on a white T-shirt, and that was it. It wasn't anything naughty or dirty or anything like that. You're not allowed to wear concert shirts. I'll be damned if I didn't change at least once every 2 weeks into that shirt when I was at school. But so
that's like in the
Oh,
so
early days, we'd take our makeup in our purses to school because we weren't allowed to wear makeup to school.
that's right.
So
That's
we
right.
another one.
bathroom, go in the bathroom, put that makeup on before class started. But anyway, so Charlie Chaplin,
Per-
I love the interweaving of because I'm a huge Charlie Chaplin
oh,
fan. I think
yes,
Charlie
yes.
Chaplin was a genius, and what's the little dictator? What's the name of the film that great
I
film?
think there
The
was
parody
the Little Dictator was one of them.
parody
But
of
yeah, I
Hitler.
completely missed talking about the theater. Go ahead.
Oh yeah, because they're sitting there laughing, all of them at Hitler, and here they are in early occupied France, not really facing the full bore occupation crap that's coming down the pike,
Right.
and so they can still laugh, and it's kind of a tender little moment, but at the same time, I love the fact that it's trying to show that even Charlie Chaplin knew how corrupt this crap was, and was fighting it
Oh,
with
yeah.
humor, and he wasn't that perfect a person, but the cruelty of the child, we're seeing here a lot of the younger people, and it's in high school especially, it's really, it's hard enough as it is without having a Nazi occupation in your country, because these are things you'll have to deal with, just,
You think
and
that complicates things to you, Cynthia?
I think so. I think the occupation, like let's ask Jackie, does the occupation influence you now? Because she's living
Yeah,
in an
no kidding.
occupied city.
Jackie,
She's
yeah, tell
living
me, is it? No, I don't want to make light of it.
we don't
But
even
while
her
we're in
cry.
the theater and enjoying our Charlie Chaplin, we are introduced to Julian, who is
Yes,
another character who's very relevant to
yes,
this story. We
very
see him at
relevant.
school as well with Sarah, and the
Yes,
treatment of him is very odd as well because they wouldn't get away with that in school these days. Maybe calling him names,
uh,
but not kicking him down and stuff like that. But this is a little boy who has survived polio. So
yes,
good for him. Had to explain what that was to Shirley as well, and why the beauty of
Mhm.
vaccinations means she will never have to deal with it at
Yeah,
all.
Yes.
exactly.
Amen. Amen. But it also shows the fact that how cruelty grows. It almost flourishes when you let
Mm.
that kind of rampant bullying and racism or whatever, because it gets to the point where it's taking people out of the hospitals and mental institutions and murdering them like they did
Oh,
people that they didn't like because of the color of their skin or their religion, and it
yeah.
just, yeah,
Bigotry takes many forms, and we call it,
it,
Yes.
boys being boys or picking on or bullying. But no, there's a point where it's
Yeah.
it's
uh,
not bullying anymore.
it,
It's just plain bigotry.
It's plain evil. It's just it turns into evil.
Yeah.
it
That's
does.
exactly what's happening and
Yeah,
happening now.
it's evil, and
And
and and it, nothing, no other word to use is other than evil. It takes the
No.
worst of humanity, it magnifies it. And I don't know what Stanford University study they did that I've talked about before, where they took like 12 students, and half of them they made cops and half of them they made prisoners, and they
Yeah.
blindfolded the prisoners, and the guys that were the cops, even though they were decent human beings supposedly, turned into monsters the way they did the other half. It's a psychological study of human nature, and it's
Yeah.
not a good study. It doesn't bode well. But the
No.
one little thing I want to say is I love the fact in this movie, because I get so upset about, I don't really like to read subtitles. Sometimes I have to, like in this movie. Um, the chalkboard or the blackboard in the schoolroom was in French,
Yes.
in and yet they're speaking language we can hear. And I thought, kudos to the director and the producers. That's silly, but
No, they threw in the French on occasion when Grammaire was speaking, and but like even the poetry being read, that was in English, even though they were
yes,
talking about a French poet. So, I think that that's just the creators' um,
yeah.
attempt to make sure that it's an accessible movie
But
for
I
the right
yes, and
audience.
I do like that. I do read still a little French. I took 2 years in high school. Not
Yeah,
that I
me too.
speak much. Yeah, I
Je
know.
m'appelle
It's still really.
Kathleen.
Oh, and then I said here, I said Rose has her head buried in the sand. Her
Yeah,
mother, Rose, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
And
yeah,
I read a lot of stories about Jews in Germany, because my Jewish side of my family came from Germany, and they
Oh,
fought against the thought that they were Germans. They were German citizens, just like these people in France are French. It's like, you can't do this to us. We're citizens. Guess what, America? You can't do that to us. We're citizens. Guess what? Again, they can, and they're doing it because they can get away with murder.
yep,
And I
yep.
mean that literally,
My
literally.
ancestry is on my dad's mother's side is her father, I believe, was Polish German, and her mother
Yeah,
was Russian German. If I
yeah.
if I might have them backwards, but Polish, as my mom says, depending on what year it was, Poland and Russia,
Yeah.
depending on the year, because
So,
of the
so you
borders
basically,
changing.
so your lineage is Ashkenazi too, just like my German
Yeah,
side is Ashkenazi. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
yep,
So,
yep.
so her artwork, it draws attention to her, but also draws people to her. It pushes some people away as the bullies, and
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, they don't have any
Yes,
talent.
and my daughter too. She goes because I was watching it again today to make sure I had all the names right, and she came in.
Hmm.
She goes and she's quoting. She goes, "That's pretty good for a Jew," and I was like, "Geez,
Yes,
Shirley." And she goes, "Well, it's what he says. It's awful."
is
I was like,
that's exactly. You know what? I just read that in my notes. So, but Shirley impressed me too. And
she
then,
had a
can you
lot of
imagine?
questions.
Yeah, can you imagine the feeling one day being, oh gosh, I can't read a citizen in a society where, yeah, I can't read my own handwriting. It's terrible. I'm going blind. I'm sorry, ladies.
Well, okay,
Anyway,
I'll
so
interrupt you with what Jackie's telling
go
us,
ahead.
giving us an update about Minneapolis. She says all the businesses are closing on Friday to go protest downtown Minneapolis. We are trying
Well,
to resist
Minneapolis.
the occupation here. Yeah, go Minneapolis. I'm working on a video for Friday
Yeah.
that has nothing to do with Outlander. So we'll see if I'm able to get it up because there's so much. I don't know if I can make it reasonable. Anyway, so yeah, Jackie, yeah, we are with you. We are thinking of you. There's a reason why I picked this movie
Absolutely.
today. Um,
So so then
so
so then little
yeah,
little, little Sarah says, "Why do they hate us so much?"
yeah. I mean, and no
And
Yeah.
reason
then
you give makes any sense. It really
no,
doesn't.
no, no.
Because the guy that was in charge, like here, was making people believe that all their problems were the fault on
Oh,
their
another.
side, the Jewish people.
Yeah.
On our side here is the immigrants. All
Yes.
your problems are because it's their fault. They are creating
Right.
your problem. And that's how it all started,
Well,
you
because
know?
insecure people need to stand on somebody else to feel tall. They have to put
Right.
someone down to feel big. They don't have enough self-respect, self-esteem. In all honesty, I do think bigoted people are purposefully ignorant and also have no self-esteem whatsoever for their own selves. I
Yeah.
don't.
Right.
I think insecurity comes from a lack of self-esteem. But that. Oh, speaking of self-esteem, Viktor Frankl. Do you guys know who Viktor Frankl was?
Yes,
Yes,
I kind of yes. Go ahead.
He
yes,
was
I just read about him today, as a matter of fact.
the
Yeah.
most famous and influential German psychologist. He was
Yes.
put
Right.
into a concentration camp. He lost family there, and he wrote, I think it was Man's Search for Meaning, a beautiful book. If you ever get a chance to read Viktor Frankl's work, because he's a Jew that was being persecuted, and he talks about the fact that he hadn't lost hope. You know, he hadn't, and this is what this movie is about: not losing hope. So he came to
Right.
my mind. I don't think he was mentioned in the movie, but it just, for some reason, it just stood out to me that this was like a Viktor Frankl kind of a thought, you know?
Right. Actually,
Okay.
that's all right because I just read about him today. For some reason, his story popped up on my streaming, and
Huh.
how he said that he was telling people how not to give up, but the people that gave
Right.
up, they would have it. I guess getting a cigarette was really hard,
Yeah.
and they would save this, and when they would have a cigarette meant that they were giving up and they were dead the next day.
Yes.
Because
Okay.
so he would go in the camp and talk to people about, think about the future. What are you going to do in the future? Who are you going to see in the future? And that's how a
Right.
lot of them survive. Yeah, I just really, it's
Mm.
weird. I just read about him today. Just about him
His book,
today.
if you like to read his Man's Search for Meaning, Viktor Frankl. It's an excellent work, and it tells you a lot.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not.
Yeah.
I don't remember that it was that long. I read it so many years ago, but the priest and the teachers. I love the priests and the teachers.
Well,
This
yeah.
Yeah.
movie.
Let's talk about that
First of all,
because they do see the SS coming up the road, and again, we were talking about they had a plan. They were implementing the
yeah,
plan. Um, the they had a plan to say nope, they weren't at school. All the kids had been taken out by the teachers. One teacher in particular is leading them down the hill, and you can see these kids kind of scatter, run, try to get away as the
yeah,
soldiers are here. And the priest is saying no, nobody came to school. Um,
yeah. But then you get
and
one rat fuck that.
yeah,
Mm.
young Vincent was it Vincent? Did I say
Yeah,
says it?
I think
Yeah,
Yeah, I
he
Vincent.
was
think it
evil.
was. Yeah.
Is it? Oh no,
Yeah,
they're here.
I,
The teachers took them away,
yeah,
and so of
yeah, he's,
course there go the soldiers.
yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah. It was,
Well,
And
and
then
the French police.
what did young Vincent become?
Yes, he
yeah. He
became a young
became a
Nazi.
young stormtrooper, but
Yeah.
we'll talk
Yeah.
about his wonderful demise later.
Oh, yeah, I
You
got a
know, a
question
wolf's
about
gotta
that
eat.
too. Yeah, that
No,
was, yeah.
wait. No, because I knew that was going to happen when I heard the wolves.
Yeah,
Like,
that
yes,
was.
Yeah. But
it,
why
it's
did they
something.
just go but why did they just go after him and not her?
Because she's a good person in the main part
Because
of the
Well,
he's a
I
story. Then it would be
hero.
know
bad.
that. I know that. So was that a little bit
Okay.
of a okay.
It's the wonder story part. It's the wonder story. This is a little bit of magic realism here. Okay,
Yeah.
Okay, yeah,
that's what
that's what
that
I'm
was.
thinking.
Okay.
Yeah. That's why it's a wonder story, because there is a little bit of magic realism in this thing, and just, but we're getting way too far ahead right now.
Yeah,
So
we're
what
far
happens
ahead
next?
again. So we've got Sarah who splits off from the group. Her shoes are not making this an easier thing to
No,
deal
they're not
with.
helping.
The
Daddy,
red shoes, yeah.
They're adorable
Daddy, right?
shoes, but boots would have been
Yes,
better.
they are. Yeah.
And we see her
Oh,
she ducks behind a wood pile, and we see the
yeah.
officer go by, and then we see her make a mad dash for the main school building again, and is able to sneak up some steps into a tower where she's looking out, and I mean, literally, where's she gonna go next? Aha! This is where our hero Julian steps in.
Yeah.
Julian,
Call
yes.
me by my real name. Call me by my real name. Just
Yes. Oh,
Right,
yeah. That was
right.
fantastic. But he
yeah.
knows secrets because of his father's job. His father's job is to
Hmm.
keep the sewers up and running, or at least part of it is the infrastructure of the sewer system. And so Julian knows the secret way out of town, basically. And it's a long walk. We only know about 6 kilometers of the walk. We don't know how long the total walk was through the sewers to get out of town, out of Dodge, and over to his home. And I like, you know what? She just automatically trusts him. There's no
Yes.
who, how do I know what's going? It's just automatically trusting this young boy who no one's been kind to.
No, because he's a
Right,
He
cripple.
has no
right.
reason to be kind to her, and
No,
yet he's willing to put his
and
life
yet,
on the line, literally, to try and save hers.
and I
Because
liked
he
it.
did, yeah, because he always did kind of have like a crush on her, you know.
He was,
He, yeah,
yeah, he was watching her.
And I'll take that at face value, but I don't know if I would have, at that age been like, I'm going to risk my life to make sure that my crush, and I'm thinking of a particular person, in middle school, high school, would be safe. I don't know if I would have been that brave at that age under these circumstances. So I'm going to give it to the guy for going above and beyond being a decent kid.
yeah.
Yes, which he
But I
was. He
think
was.
that at that point in Europe, whether the war really hasn't started there yet or not, but they had to grow up fast. They
Well,
grew
the
up
war had
Oh
fast.
yeah.
They
the
had to
war
grow up.
started. Germany invaded Poland. They were told not to. They did it anyway. They made an agreement not to.
Yeah,
Then they did it anyway,
yes.
and then the shit hit the fan. That's all they wrote. But once they
But
were
in that
allowed to
little
get,
town, it seemed like the Germans didn't march in there until like 42 or whatever, not like
yeah,
Right.
they
39 or anything like. So that
no, no,
little village, they just got smashed so quickly, and those kids had to, some kids had to grow up really quickly because of that.
yeah,
So but
Children are
so
very resilient, and they're pretty good with change. Your average child is pretty good with
right,
change. They might
yeah,
fuss and moan about it right at first, but they adjust more quickly than adults ever will.
yep.
yes. What
But
did I?
they do make this crazy walk in the sewer back to his barn, and I love his description. He goes, "My house is past the barn, but I can't take you to our house because we have nosy neighbors that we think are
Oh,
Nazi
The
sympathizers."
Lafleur. Yeah, that ends up to be hilarious in the end. Of course, it's like, but this is another thing is the distrust that's sowed in a civilization.
Yep.
This kind of activity makes us all suspect each other. It's like my brother goes see a doctor if he sees that doctor has a Trump poster in his office. He says, "How can
Oh
I be
yeah.
treated by someone that ignorant?" He says that person voted for that man. They can't be that good a doctor because they're ignorant, And it's just, but the thing is that is not justified. It is on some level, maybe to him, but in all honesty, that is a form of bigotry, and reverse bigotry is still bigotry.
Oh, I've walked out of offices that had Fox News play in the waiting
Oh,
room.
I have to. Oh, I do it all the. I went into a CPA once, and he had a MAGA thing on his desk, and I just turned around and walked right out.
Yeah,
So
no.
it's just like you get what
Well,
you
at least
get.
they
Honest to
let
God.
us know if we should support them or not by giving them our business. I think that that's nice of them. Give us a warning.
You know what? They're at least be honest. Let's give them kudos for being honest. Honest.
Nothing
So,
like an honest
then we have
racist.
the other thing is the beginning of young love in this story is just so sweet because they kind of
Oh yeah.
Yes.
it's it doesn't really develop that quickly in the story, but you can see little vestiges of it all along the way, and
Well,
you know
again,
it's going to happen.
as you say, the fact that he put his neck out for this girl, you can tell is
Mhm.
because he has a crush. It wasn't,
Oh yeah,
some deep secret or anything. You knew. But
Yeah.
I like again that you pointed out that when they get there, she's again kind of just sort of accepting the situation. You can stay in the loft. We'll put up some hay bales so you can be hidden.
right.
And she says, "Well, thank you." And he goes, "Well, there is one thing you can do, and that's Call Me by Your Name. And I love the little
Yeah.
exchange here where she admits she doesn't know his first name.
His
She
name.
knows his last
No,
name because of their seating requirements, but it
right.
never occurred to her to learn this child's first name.
No, because she calls him the same thing everybody else calls him, which is in German.
Tortua?
Yeah,
Torta or
and it's
something
with
like
like
that?
Like
turtle.
crap or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, crab. It's crab. Yeah, in German. And it's just so she calls him the same thing everybody else does because she goes along with the flow. And I
Yeah.
want to make one little comment here about people going along with the flow. This is the easy way out to go
Yeah.
along with you know, and that's what we see happening everywhere. People are afraid of power, afraid of strength, and so they give up their own morality, own sense of right and wrong, and succumb to it. And you know that in itself, in and of itself, is almost more evil than the evil people like Vincent in the story.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
complacency kills me. The complacency kills
Well,
me.
what is the quote? Those who do not
Learn
do
from
not
history are doomed to repeat it. Are
well, no,
doomed
the
to
other one,
repeat
but
it.
those who do not say no are assumed to agree or something like
Yeah,
that. I'm misquoting terribly, but yeah,
that's Thomas More. Thomas More.
yeah.
If,
And I'm
if
terribly
yeah, if you
misquoting poor Thomas More. Sorry about that,
yeah.
Thomas.
if you don't, not that you're acquiescing. It was, I think, a question to, was it Henry VIII or Henry V? I forget who was his king. But anyway, that's
But at
another
any
subject.
rate, yeah, if you're sitting by and watching all this stuff and then going and making dinner and not saying anything, not trying to start conversations, I don't live in Minneapolis. I can't go punch an ice person trying to scare my friend. But I can talk about it and annoy the heck out of people who are like, yeah, they're doing a great job. It's just what I voted
That's
for.
right.
You know what? Oh my gosh. Anyway,
All right. So
so
the other thing I like
we're living in a
is that
barn.
yeah, we're living in a barn. But there is a little bit of the French Resistance, which I love the French Resistance. I love stories about the French Resistance. Old
Yes.
movies.
In the
Big
movie
Ernest
theater.
Yeah, in the movie. But the French Resistance, because they were basically freedom fighters on the street fighting against an occupying force that was just so massive and so willing to do anything against human beings. They did not give a crap, you know.
Yep. I like when they would do things like, and then when the vans arrived with all the ammunition, it was not there, or whatever. They would do like things that you would think were like really evil pranks, and obviously there
Yeah,
was also some, loss of life as well. But
yeah,
my favorite
fortunately,
stories are the ones where they would intercept deliveries of supplies and just
yeah.
ruin the Nazis' day. That's good. That's all you really need to do.
All you
If
need
you
to
do it
do.
enough, they gotta leave. They run out of food. They run out of guns. They run out of everything.
That's like giraffes, taunting ice agents. That's our resistance now. We got guys in giraffe costumes, or hot dog costumes, or pickle costumes, just
I
getting in their
got my
faces.
froggy T-shirt going on, or my frog sweatshirt that says "Ribbit."
Good for
Need I
you.
say more?
Yeah, ribbit,
It just
ribbit.
said,
Oh, I know, I
"Ribbit."
love that.
Need I say
That
more?
frog.
And I got a
Yeah,
frog on the back. Uh,
no, I love the frog.
anyway,
So
I'll put
skipping.
that up for sale.
Okay, I'm probably skipping ahead too far, but I love the scenes in the barn when he comes and teaches her lessons. The development
Yeah,
of that part of the story was so sweet. He teaches her lessons. She teaches him how to use his imagination. Though I think the idea, the concept of the imagination car rides is brilliant in this. And they
Mhm.
really,
yes,
Yes.
I loved it. It's like he's looking at her like she's nuts and she's describing these things, and then he starts to see them. And, you know, that's just such a beautiful thing to watch, I thought, you know?
you know what? And I like that he says, "You really want me to see this, don't you?" And I,
Yes.
I think for her, it was one, his lesson for her, or
Yeah.
the lesson she wants to give him, like you said, for the imagination, but two, something she can genuinely share with somebody else. And he
Yes.
is her entire world, really.
At this
So
point, yeah.
making that connection is exceedingly important.
Yes.
But
And once again, Charlie Chaplin. Oh, the zebra. Oh, that's something I say. Europeans do not know how to say zebra. They call them zebras. Even Spain
zebras.
calls them zebra. Zebras.
That's
That's how
okay.
they say them over
Canadians
there.
say Zed.
And Zed. use that word with friends all the time. Um, but his Charlie Chaplin imitation that he does for her is just one of the sweetest moments in that movie, I think, when he does that, because
Yeah.
he takes on a whole different persona. We know him as this guy with his crutch and, you know, his leg brace and everything, and she's done all this imaginative stuff for him with the hand puppet show thingy that she does. It's so lovely, and, you know, stimulates his imagination. And then he does this great Charlie Chaplin imitation, falls
Yep.
down on the floor.
Their
Clever,
time in the
clever.
barn is really, I like the way they did that. The creators made that time in the barn, because that could have been a really boring year.
It could have
But they
been.
took some of the best moments that would have made it bearable for her and turned it
Yeah.
into the main portion of the movie for us. So we get to
Yeah.
see their relationship grow, how she survived and didn't go mad being stuck in a barn, because remember, she had to stay in the barn at all times.
Right.
She was never allowed to go outside. The only
Except
sunshine
one.
she was getting was through the hole in
Yep.
the roof. So, and her friends were the bats. And that bird,
Yeah.
they would come and visit. The white bird that
Yes.
would come and visit on occasion.
Once again, the magic realism factor in this thing,
Right.
which is why it's
Mhm.
pierced. But it's directed this. Did we check that out? I don't remember if I wrote that down.
Which one? What? The bird?
Who directed the movie?
Oh, I had it and I didn't write it down.
I forgot to write it down. I usually write down the directors, but I didn't.
Oh, I was writing down a whole bunch of names and I just missed that one.
Mm.
Bear with us, folks, because we do try to give
Now,
people
bear with
credit here.
In the meantime,
I
yeah.
wasn't there. I
So
don't
yeah.
remember.
Back in the
Well, this is-
barn.
But the thinking
Mark-
that you asked,
Mark
Bats and the bird.
Forster is the director.
I don't know him. The thing about the birds and the bats is that we're getting the inclination of the fact that nature is with her. Nature
Yes.
loves her. And this is why when I heard the wolves howling later, I knew what was going to happen. Yay, wolves.
But also
Somebody's
in the
gonna save
barn, well, nature was saving her. The bats
Yeah, but-
saved her at one point,
Yes.
you know?
Well, save Julian, really, when it came down
Well,
to
yes.
it.
Right.
Because
Both of
Julian
them,
would not have
because- yeah.
survived that pummeling if they'd kept on going either.
No.
No, but that's when he shone the light up and because they were going to go up to that loft and
Right.
probably
got
found her.
bats stirred up the bats. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was
So,
That was smart. That was smart. She was
Yes.
anxious. One little thing, she was anxious about leaving. They were trying to get her to go to Switzerland, and she was anxious about that. And then things just got worse and worse. And we see how much worse and worse they get with Victor and his thugs. I mean, the fact that people can become evil so quickly when they're given little bits of power,
mhm.
and that I think is so relevant today, because we're talking about people who are being paid $50,000 bonuses, who have really no training, no background checks, as we found out through the press.
Oh, yeah, that
They're
was a
not.
good one.
Oh no, that was a lovely one, and I bet that's happened more than we know. But these people are basically a bunch of incels and insecure bastards. Really have wanted power their whole lives, and they're bringing them in at $50,000 signing bonuses to beat up on people of color or anybody you
Yeah.
don't like. Period.
They're
I
all
did hear
they're
that-
all wannabes. They're all wannabes that couldn't make it anywhere else.
No,
Yeah.
And this
what
was
we just-
just yeah.
Katie. What was
But
your
anyway.
point?
I was just say, yeah. Well, I had 2 points. One, I heard that they don't get that $50,000 fee unless they've served until after they've served 5 years. So jokes on them. That's not gonna last 5
Oh,
years.
I
but they
didn't know that. Oh,
I don't know if
perfect,
it's true.
perfect.
I heard it, so I read it in one of the
Uh-huh.
many things that have gone by.
Okay.
Um,
Okay.
Yeah, and then the second one I heard was that for folks who are putting in applications to be one of the elite ICE agents, if they put anything about, if the word officer is anywhere in their resume, they get flagged so that they can skip training and go straight to
Oh,
whatever their
heavens.
orientation is. And that includes if it says, I have to meet with my parole officer. I failed the officer's test.
Oh my God.
I wouldn't
Oh
doubt that,
my God.
because they're so ignorant at the top now that they don't even know. They don't know what they're doing.
They
Anyway,
can't hire
um,
decent computer programmers to filter things.
No.
That's sad.
Well, yeah. Oh gosh, that's a whole other show, Katie.
Oh, I know. Why do you think I have to make
So,
an extra
oh,
video?
so the ugly scene where Vincent and his thug buddies come in.
Yes.
Oh no,
Which,
Right.
I'm sorry. Where Julian finds him in the theater. That's the first.
yeah, that's another
Yeah.
one.
So,
So
yeah.
Julian
It's
goes to the theater,
gorgeous theater.
and
Yeah,
his friend, I'm assuming the owner of the theater, who is always like,
George.
oh,
George.
come
Yes.
to work and then goes down in the basement. He
Yeah.
finds out that they're gone. He had
Mhm.
figured out who they were. Julian had figured out who they really were, what they were doing, and he goes
Yeah.
down, and the place is empty and trashed. And
And
all
he's
he
dead.
finds are
There-
Vincent and his cronies just
And,
destroying the place.
and
And
his dead friend.
he barely makes it out of the theater.
Yeah.
Oh, once again, Vive la Resistance, because there's one resistance fighter in that theater that saves his life, but he gets at
That's
his
right.
cost of his own.
Yep.
But Vive la Resistance. But,
Vive la Resistance. That I need to make that T-shirt too.
yes, you do. You do. In
All
purple
right,
and white.
all right. Let
Put
me
it
make
on the
it.
list. Put it on the list.
Put it on the list. I'll
On
buy
the-
it.
oh,
I'll buy a
I'm gonna
lot
get
of
up a
them.
good.
yeah.
All right.
I love
all
the
right, all
white
right. I'll
bird.
work on
I
a
love
good
the
design
white
for that.
Yeah, the white
And I'll
bird-
make sure
the
there's a
white
good discount code for folks too.
Yes.
Um,
She has a little white book, the little white bird flip book that she made for him.
Isn't
I've
that
always
sweet?
loved flip art books. I've always loved those. And it's just like, that was so sweet. And then, of course, he goes and carves her a little white bird, which she carries the rest of her life. Which,
Yeah.
that's just too. Nazis were everywhere. You know, they're in the second phase of whatever the occupation. And then
And
they
there
talk
are.
about the nosy. What
Please go ahead.
they're on. They talk about the nosy Lafleurs. This is which is kind of cute in the end, but
Well,
that did happen.
they take care of the nosy Lafleurs because father
Better
had
than-
had some surgery, and he gets some sleeping powder, and this is the perfect opportunity to celebrate Sarah's birthday. And I like that
Mhm.
they take the moment to say that the mom has been saving up her rations so they could make a
Yes.
true chocolate cake.
Right. And how did they get around the nosy Lafleurs? Is Papa
They
used some of
drugged
the
him.
leftover sedatives from his dental procedure and put it in their milk because they provided the milk for the Lafleurs. And it just was like, really? And it's just like, yeah, but how long are they going to be asleep? Because I'm scared. I'm really scared.
Well,
But that was so
especially when
sweet.
you think that they split their rations with the folks that are staying there, but we don't know about them at this point. But still, I'm thinking,
Mm.
so the whole house. Let's hope the whole house is sleeping. At
Yeah.
any rate, but so she does get like moments of normalcy while she's in hiding because of this family. There is a
Yes.
true love and devotion to her as much as to Julian, and I think it has more to do with this is the community that we are supposed to have, and they're doing everything
Yeah.
they can to respect and honor that, despite
Because
circumstances.
that's what good, honest, decent people do. They stand up for their beliefs, or they're supposed to. If they don't, they're hypocrites, as far as I'm concerned.
It's
You know,
it,
they're
I will take a moment to say it's not always easy to stand up for your rights, but when it's not easy is usually when it's most important.
yeah. Jackie sent me the other day, "Get Up, Stand Up," and it's one of my favorite songs. Get up, stand up for your rights.
rights.
Get up,
All right,
stand
we
up.
can't sing that too much or I'll get in trouble. But yes, we could always do a little Bob Marley. It's all right. We're good.
Yeah, we could do that. Yeah, yeah. I'll bring the ganja.
And then we go into One Love. Okay,
Oh yes,
um,
yes, yes.
I'm trying to get myself in trouble today on YouTube. If anybody else would like to sing a song that'll get me copyright and stricken, please go for it. Uh,
There's a line coming up pretty soon. How much hate people are capable of, and how much courage it took to be kind. And we're
yes.
talking about today, folks. We're talking about today. How much hate people are capable of, and how much courage it takes to be kind. And that's the thing that she and Julian realized.
And I think as much as it shocks these folks to find out that their own neighbors would turn them in, is just
Mhm.
as shocked as I am on a daily basis to find out how many people are just totally cool with the way things are going. I don't.
Oh
I
yeah,
like to think in my mind that they don't watch all the news streams that I do, and they aren't aware of
yeah,
70% of the stuff that's going on.
yeah.
But that's probably just in my imagination and me hoping again.
I don't think they're paying attention, Katie. I really don't. I think they have their heads buried in the sand like a bunch of ostriches. Although I don't know that ostriches really do that. I think that's just figurative. But anyway, no, and it's the same. Jackie keeps saying, "How did the people in Germany let Hitler get into power?" I said, "You're watching it happen, girl,"
We're watching
and she
it,
knows.
yeah.
You know that
Yes.
you're watching it happen right now in America. This is how.
The only difference is we all went to school and learned how this happened, and we're
And
all
we
just
didn't.
like, cool, now we get to watch it in real life. Isn't this the neatest lesson?
Brainless Americans. We
You
are.
know, guys, all these people that are out there, they were always there.
Oh,
They
yeah.
were always there, but
Yes.
our supreme leader gave them an excuse to come out.
Oh God.
And
Well, he
They
did.
made
this
it
is,
okay.
yeah, he made it okay. He made it okay. Be it the fascists, the Proud Boy, whoever they were always there. But now they're just running free. They're running free, and this is so scary. I hate to bring something personal, but back in the 80s, we're talking about neighbors and all that. I
Yeah.
had a sister. I have a sister that still lives in, well, she's gone now, but she lived in Lithuania while it was still under the Russian control, communist control.
Okay.
And my father and I both went. We were allowed to go visit her. We were allowed to go visit the country, and we had to go like on a tour. But anyway, we snuck off. This is that we had to sneak off to go see where she lived, and she was so afraid because we couldn't stay anywhere in a long period of time because of the neighbors would
Right.
snitch on her.
Gotcha.
And at that time, I was still young. I couldn't understand. It's like,
Of
afraid of
course
your
not.
neighbors? I mean, really? And it's like, that's the fear. That's the fear that something's going to happen to her because if her neighbors saw that me and my dad were there and they would report her to the authorities.
Which they
And this
would.
is what it,
Yeah.
yeah.
It's true.
So
And
anyway, that was the
I-
age. And now we're doing that now where people, I'm sure there are people that are neighbors and are turning their neighbors in. I'm
Yeah,
sure there's
absolutely.
people like that.
the sad thing is sometimes it's just because they have a grudge and they don't give a shit if that person isn't really guilty of anything. They just want their neighbor taken care of because they have this little bit of
Right.
power now given to them by this fascistic government that oh, you can be bad and get away with it in this country now. This is not
Right.
the way we are. Not the way we are.
Yeah, no. But yeah, I had a situation, and I think I mentioned to you guys when I just started speaking to you guys. I know we're going off script here, but I just moved into this neighborhood, and I had these neighbors, and I knew that one of my neighbors was a Trump supporter, and I'm going to say it, all right. But they did, yeah. I mean, they were so nice to me. They were, and I go, okay, I'm not going to say anything. They're my neighbors, their political views, whatever. Well, they all come out. Okay, so we went to another neighbor's house for a little New Year's Eve, prior New Year's Eve celebration. Okay, there was drinking going on, right? So he and now I rode with them. I rode with him and his wife to this other neighbor's house. Yeah, right. And okay, so we're having talk, and I started. We're talking about immigrants. I was telling the story of my family, how they immigrated here, da 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 da, and all of a sudden, it's like something went off on him about blaming the immigrants.
What?
He goes, and then he started getting specific. And Jackie, you could probably relate to this, where he was saying, and those immigrant, those Somalians, those animals. And I'm going, wait, what are you talking? Then I started disagreeing with him. And we started kind of he went off on me like you would not believe, calling me a left, activist. And he goes, you probably voted for Kamala Harris. I go, yeah, I did. I go, if you really want to know, yeah, I did. Yeah.
3 times.
Yeah. And it's like, This is what I'm
Cynthia,
saying.
come
It's
on.
like, how can someone be, I was thinking, how can somebody be that nice and have Trump signs all over? Well,
You know,
hello.
I have
Hello.
cousins who are Trump supporters, and all they do is attack my posts every day. They just make crap, and I just tell them, "You're supposed to be a Christian, fool. You know, is this what your mama taught you? You know, this is not what your mama taught you." But anyway, let's okay.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. I know. I had said I went off script. Go ahead.
You're
Oh
all
no,
right, Vita.
so the trip to Manhattan. I love the trip to Manhattan. It's just a little tiny moment in the movie, but
Oh yeah, no, that's beautiful.
Oh, yeah.
his trip for her, his special trip for her. And I love seeing, Broadway and all that shit. That was just so fun. That's just a momentary thing. But then Julian goes to school, and then the Nazi brown shirt kids from his neighborhood come and attack him the first time, or try to. And of course the priest rescues him.
Right. Well, and the priest gives him a really cool bit of news that he's doing so well. They're going to put him in the next year's advanced mathematics. And
Yes.
that is where
That's what
Julia
he wanted to get
notices
them.
that the notebook is in the
Yeah.
priest's hands, and which I'm sure he was just keeping it for whenever Sarah came back. But
I think so. Yeah.
Julian decides to liberate it for her instead, and unfortunately, that is what gets him caught out.
His downfall. That's his downfall, is that he loves her enough already. He wants to bring her the thing that's most precious to her. And this is the thing about the young love story, is it's so pure and so beautiful, and it's not corrupt anyway. But
no, it's not at all dirty or lascivious. There's a word with an L and a lot of shitnesses. And it's very sweet and innocent.
Yeah,
he just wants to do nice for her, and she wants to do nice for him, and show kindness and caring, and share what they each like with each other. It's really that simple.
Yeah.
But bringing the book to her, he knocks the two die. Plural of dice is die, right? And whatever it was on the top of the book that they'd put, and they knock off on the floor when he pulls it off the shelf.
Yes,
and
that's
that alerts.
true.
What alerts them?
But Vincent is watching him leave,
Mm-hmm.
and follows him back with his goons
To
to find out
barn.
what it is that he took from the priest. At this moment, I don't think that he has any suspicion of Sarah being there, just that that Julian was doing something curious,
Right?
And that's really all they need is.
And they're bullies, and they don't like Julian anyway, and so they're looking for any excuse. Plus, they're infused with the evil bullying power that the Nazi government gave them, just for being associated with the Nazi government. Kind of like the ICE agents that are on the streets now. But
well, exactly.
That's the comparison. That's exactly it.
The brown shirts. Oh, you guys know the story of Kristallnacht, right?
Kristallnacht?
Yes.
No, I don't.
Yes.
Oh, Katie, you do know the story of Kristallnacht. Anyway,
the book burning, the Jewish book burning.
Last breaking of all the stores, they went in, they destroyed all the Jewish-owned storefronts. It's called Kristallnacht.
I don't think I associated that there was a name for it. We just call it book burnings, because anytime there's a book burning, it's evil.
Books. They went in, they broke windows out of Jewish-owned businesses. They destroyed them. They called it Kristallnacht, which sound very nice, but it's sorry.
They were burning. Yeah, they grab all the books and the, and they're whatever, and they were burning them in the streets.
Anything that they had, yes.
Yeah. And you make somebody wear what was a yellow star and or
a gold star of David on their arm.
Uden and whatever. She says this line that's great, because he gets so angry after he gets beat up, because he's hurt.
Yeah.
And it's just and he says a lot of things that are kind of true, actually. And he says, "You're the spoiled brat who sat next to me for 5 years and didn't even know my name." And the truth of the matter is, this underscores the fact that even oppressed people can be oppressive. Think about the blacks for Trump. Think about the Mexican people who decided to go Republican in the last election. Do you think they're happy now? I don't.
Well, I think there's even more than that, because we're going to get to the point. I truly believe that if this keeps going, they're going to get to the point where if you are infirmed, you're no good to the nation, you're
Yes,
going to be taken
exactly.
away. If you have a
Right.
Well,
deformity
yeah,
or are
Well, Trump
have
already
a
made
mental
fun of them.
retardation of some
Yeah.
yeah,
type, they're
from
going to
day
take that
one.
away. Any divergency really of the norm, you're going to get taken
Well,
away.
and then you look at that fat tub of orange lard and think, what right do you have to criticize anybody else's body? You piece
No.
of
Yeah.
crap. You know, you just think, I hate that man so much.
I know.
Y-
I do.
And you know what's worse is you see rumors, you see things that they think he
Mm.
said or someone close to him said, and you can't tell if it's satire or if it's real. Because I saw another one that said anybody who they're talking about making a new rule that if you have not gotten married and had children by the age of 30, you're going to be paying a fine, which I'm hoping is satire. But I wouldn't put it past this
Well,
administration.
have
Well,
you
I'm
read
going to be paying a lot of money, I guess.
all of
I'm
Project
so sorry.
2025 yet?
2025, they get 2026 out now, honey. It's a whole new chapter.
Rewrote the book. They rewrote the book. Okay, so he never should
Ugh,
have taken the sketchbook because it led to his own demise,
yeah,
unfortunately,
yeah.
and brought evil Vincent to her.
Yes. And but again, this is where he's a hero and takes the flashlight and gets the
Yes,
bats,
once again.
saves himself, saves her, and scares the bejesus out of Vincent and the goons, which
Yeah,
is fun. Uh, but it does have this time of loneliness there. This is before her
yeah,
birthday celebration, but this time of
and
loneliness before he comes back, and he still doesn't want to
right.
talk about it, which I understand. But
Yeah, I do too. Yeah.
she at least wants, I didn't know what to do. I'm sorry. He's, we're just gonna keep going, and so they do. They kind of continue with their
Yes.
day to day. And she describes too around here that they're both growing older. She has said that he's her world, he's her light in the darkness,
Yeah,
which
and she's
takes that
growing
other.
up, and he's growing up. She's growing
Yeah, and
up.
they're
They're both.
growing up. Yep, measuring. Shirley was very interested in that too. She's getting taller. I said, well, yeah, she's been there for about a year or more. Oh,
Oh, yeah,
okay. And
yeah.
she thought that the Let's Learn to Imagine was virtual reality. I said, no, sweetie, that's
No,
imagination.
really? Okay. Well, that's an interesting take on that. I can see where that would come from,
Yeah,
but she says she tells him, "You're the bravest person I've ever known,"
yeah,
and he denies it. But he is the bravest person she's ever known.
yeah.
Yes.
Because without a thought, he took her home. That was the
Yeah.
bravest thing he could have done. Was
Yeah.
to, despite the fact that it was going to be a long walk, it's going to be a hard walk on it in the sewers. If he's found out, if his family is found out, they're all in trouble.
Yes.
That is extreme bravery for a teenage boy.
Yes. Well, but he was an amazing teenage boy. I mean, he was obviously a young lad ahead of his time. Well, he'd had to put up with I think having a disability like that, I know we're not supposed to use that word, but I don't know what else to call it anymore. Having an illness like that as a child. I knew a child with polio. One of my best friends when I was little had it. And, she was basically bedridden the rest of her life and she died young.
Yeah.
But so when she says he's brave, he says, well, because I use crutches. No, that's not why you're brave. No.
No.
But he takes her
I
on the
don't even
walk
think
after.
she sees the crutch anymore.
I
It's
don't
like
think so
noticing
either.
that somebody has an arm. You don't take
Yeah.
notice of it. They have an arm. It just
Well, my
that's part
second
of who he
husband
is.
lost one arm, and it didn't make any difference to me. He was still my second husband. So anyway, it just is the way it is. But
Right.
he takes her on that beautiful walk after her birthday in the barn, and that once again a little bit of magical realism there. It's so sweet. It is so sweet.
Uh,
And when
and they
and when he
share
took her for
a
the walk, they took
And
that walk.
he
yeah.
proposes to her.
Yeah.
Well, they have a
I
sweet
want.
kiss. Again, a very innocent moment, and you can
Yes.
tell too. It's a very sweet and innocent, nothing naughty, just two
No,
people
they
of young love.
they might be cuddling later, but they both still have their clothes on, so it's not like a Sam
Yeah,
and Jamie and Claire moment.
Jamie and Claire.
Yeah,
Jamie
Jamie
Claire.
and Claire.
Whoops.
Yeah, not two naked people there. Anyway,
No, this
but
was
it's
only
so
rated PG-13, and I think that had to do more with the subject matter and
yeah,
some of the violence that happens, rather
yeah,
than any,
yeah,
oh no, it's a boob, or any of that kind of stuff. Because those kind of moments didn't happen. It really was about,
yeah.
you know, if I'm going to watch this with my 10-year-old daughter, be prepared to answer some questions, which I
Yeah.
was. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
We have a high point of the proposal, this sweet moment there, and then of course what happens next. He's
Yes,
he
no. Oh, so she's
oh
set to say that she loves him. That's what she's gonna do next time she sees him. Tell him she loves him, and
hmm
she's excited with this thought. For
yeah,
some reason, Julian takes the short way to school. He'd been taking the long way to avoid the checkpoints, and
yeah.
today he takes the short way and gets stopped by our good pal Vincent.
Vincent,
Um,
the evil bastard
and and it just so happened to be the same day that the SS was gathering up anybody who was infirmed, or
from a
I'm guessing
hospital or a
permanently
mental
damaged
institution.
in some way from the
Right.
hospital. And along comes polio stricken Julian
Yeah.
and gets put on
And
the
Vincent
truck.
whispers in the SS officer's ear, this guy's a cripple.
Yeah,
I don't like him. I don't like him. He's a cripple. Take him out. And so they arrest him. They arrest this poor kid for no reason other than the fact that he needs a crutch and some braces.
right. Which is on par for the German soldiers. They were looking for the ideal version of humanity, which in their
Right.
eyes are blonde haired, blue eyed white folks, and
The
as
Aryan
That
close
are,
to that
Nation.
as possible.
They're
yeah.
creating the Aryan Nation.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. It was
Yeah.
funny because the Aryans were north of India, and I don't think that they were totally white, but that's okay.
No, they weren't. But
I,
for some
I
reason, that's what also, yeah, it never quite made sense. We got
no,
I'm talking about Hitler. We got a black haired, dark eyed, not so educated,
see.
he thinks he's educated, failed artist wants to
Yes.
build the perfect nation. I don't.
Yeah.
Uh,
Exactly. Yeah. The
it's
guy
like
is short and probably
it'd be like a
he was
pumpkin
looking
running a
at
country and trying to make the
oh
perfect.
Oh,
yeah.
we
Well,
do. We
we
do.
have
That's
an orange
not true.
pumpkin,
That's impossible.
full of shit.
An orange pumpkin. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, and then, the thing is that Vincent has half enough intelligence to see that notebook in the backpack and know from whence it came. And
Yeah.
so what does he do? He hops on his little motorbike and we know what he's going to try and do. We just know, oh fuck, he's heading to the farmhouse. I knew it the minute he picked it up and that look in his eyes is like, yeah, he knows where it came from.
Yep.
That is a frightening scene when he is chasing her.
Yeah.
She's so clever. She climbs out the roof,
Yes, I love that. She's breaking down the roof pieces and going out. You see her climbing down, jumping off and down and running through the woods. If she'd have just
I
run
say,
the other
run,
direction, he
Sarah,
wouldn't
run.
have seen her. But yeah,
Yeah.
run, Sarah, run. And,
Run,
and
Sarah.
of course, he jumps down and chases after as fast as he can,
Yeah.
too. And
Shooting
you
all the
think,
time.
oh, gosh. And he shoots like a stormtrooper, thank goodness. He is a stormtrooper, but I'm talking about Star Wars stormtrooper. The man cannot shoot straight. Thank goodness.
They could.
A lot of damaged trees, but that's about it. But those noises, the constant shooting attracts the
Yeah.
local
The
wildlife.
wolves. Yes.
Yeah.
But then she trips and falls and he comes after her and she says the thing that is true of all people that are in this role in our society, this jackbooted thug role coward she calls him, which is what
Yep.
he coward. And I hear the wolves and I'm thinking the wolves are going to save her. I just knew it before because this scene wasn't even done yet. But I'm hearing the wolves and I'm thinking the wolves are going to save her. They are, because she's right and he's wrong.
Well,
Yay, wolf.
because Grandmare's alive, to tell the story. I feel like that gave us a clue that she was going to survive.
You think?
I'm an annoying logical thinker, and I will take the fun out of a show like that from myself.
That's
Going, well,
okay.
she can't tell the story if she did. So,
Yeah.
but But after this moment, she's
Sure.
running again to try to warn uh, Julian's family
Because she
that he's
knows.
been taken.
Yeah.
And ends
Because
up she's not home.
backpack.
So she goes to the
She finds
LaFleurs. That is brave as well. That is an incredibly
is
brave moment
has nowhere else to go.
because
Yeah.
yeah, she thinks that they're Nazi sympathizers. I mean,
And then she
taking
sees
a
the
huge
rabbi.
chance.
The rabbi comes up. The rabbi comes up, and it's just like, whoa, wait a minute. What?
Yeah, yeah.
They're hiding the rabbi the whole time. That's why they were afraid. They were
And that's
doing
the
same
rabbi
damn-
they thought had been snuck into Sweden a year beforehand.
Yeah.
He's been at the LaFleur, or 2 years beforehand. He's been at the
No.
LaFleurs this whole dang time with his
The
wife.
whole dang time.
So
that
but they
was the-
are being snuck away. And so they offer to take Sarah with them. But she says she can't. She needs to help find out what happens to Julian.
Julian, yep.
Yep.
She needs to,
So,
of course, and then of course Vivian shows up, and you know,
oh,
That
break
was
my
so
heart.
the mother. Oh,
oh God, and it's just the point is the cruelty is the other T-shirt you should make, Katie, is the point is the cruelty. That's what they're doing,
Okie dokie.
but you
just keep writing.
oh, and then they say she says, oh, they do the thing, the announcement from the film of what was it, the Allies have taken, what is it, the Allies have taken,
Yeah, the Allies
not
had taken
Alamo.
us one of the cities, one of the
Yeah.
larger cities, I believe. And
they
that
know,
gives them
and
hope.
they know that gives them hope, and yes, yeah, and it's just the end of the war might be near, and then she says, they do the film thingy where you know that the Allies have taken the city, and just like when we finally are, oh, let's see, oh, you could hear the whole world cheer. You could hear the whole world cheer, she says. And the thing is I said, just like when we finally get rid of Trump, the whole world will cheer.
Well, I want to jump back just for a moment because we get Gillian Anderson, the mom,
Yes,
who's gotten the money from her neighbors, the LaFleurs, to try to give, to buy back her son's freedom. The idea of this was suggested by Jerome, who is the other goon in Vincent's gang, but he has at least a little bit of decency in there.
Yep.
He
A
just
little bit
doesn't
of a
have enough
conscience.
backbone to make his own choices, so he's gone along. But some part of him knows this is wrong enough that he says there may still be a chance to buy him back. And so,
well, you watch him in different scenes throughout the movie where you can see he's uncomfortable with what Vincent's doing. Like the scene in the barn, he's uncomfortable, but he doesn't stop it. And the thing is that he doesn't stop it is that you can stand by and watch the shit happen. The fact that you don't stop it makes you implicit. Sorry.
Well, it depends. I'm going to
You're
say
right.
it depends
You're right,
in some
Cynthia.
circumstances simply because if you get killed in that moment and nothing changes other than you've died, how is that helpful?
Well, exactly. It was just what Julian is so angry with her about is the fact that she actually endangered his whole family. But he did it because he brought the damn sketch home. It's a dual-edged sword.
Yeah, I'm not trying to justify standing by and doing nothing, but I think there are moments where if you're going to die, at least make it have value. And just to have him be killed, it wouldn't have changed any of the circumstances.
No.
But that's just my opinion. You can be angry at me about it if you want. But she is trying to buy back her son. She's gone to the truck, but she finds out they're going to walk the rest of the way. He's infirmed. There's no way they were going to walk him all the way to any place. The plan was to.
I knew they were going to kill him. They were going to take him out and execute him. That was obvious from the beginning. They were just going to, like they did a lot of times. This didn't happen just once during the Nazi.
Oh, yeah.
They did this to people. They did this a lot to people. And it was disgusting. Well, it is disgusting. It's still disgusting.
But the reason I want to point this out is because we get these line of folks who have come from the hospital in Julian, and you can hear them whispering to each other. There's only 3 of them and 9 of us, or maybe 11 of us. Pass it on. We can make our escape. And so, in a very short amount of time, they tried to make a plan of escape. It's just bullets are faster than feet.
Yeah, machine guns are helpful in those instances, but you know, it just and we hoped so much for Julian as he was running away on his crippled leg. But we knew what was going to happen. I mean, it just was
Yeah.
obvious that someone had to die in this movie. Just that's the way life is in movies. But
Yeah.
my favorite scene. Hmm?
Yeah, I was
Go
gonna
on.
say. I just wanted to point out real quick that Sandra when we were talking about the young love, says it reminds her of Aunt Anne Frank and Peter in the Diary
Yes,
of Anne
yes.
Frank. It's
Yes.
just
That's why I
innocent.
said
I
it was
mean,
innocent, totally. But it was love. Yeah,
yes, yes, and that
love.
first love, whatever the circumstances, these are some extreme, dire circumstances, but that first love
Yeah,
is gonna stay in your heart forever. That's how we learn what romantic love is, what love other than your
which
parents and your sisters and your grandparents and aunt, what that
yeah,
is. And
and she
so,
tells that to her. So,
yes, she tells it perfectly. It's
yes,
displayed very well here. But of course, by the time Julian's mom gets to try to rescue him, he's been
yeah.
shot.
It's
The dream is
and
over.
well, and Gillian Anderson is just perfect in this part. This is probably her penultimate next to the best, no, her best. So the ultimate scene in this movie for her was that scene when she's basically almost going to get killed to go back into the forest to look for her son, and it just shows the cold heartedness of the Nazi. Although I kind of detected a tiny little glimmer of humanity in that Nazi officer's eyes. He looked a little bit reluctant to say what he did. Maybe I'm imagining it, but
No,
I
I
can't.
think that he thought there was a reality there that it's a mother trying to save
Wanting her.
her son. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. Everybody's saying we need Nuremberg trials again. Yeah, we do.
We aren't going to get
Yeah.
him until after this mess, but yes, we
I know.
definitely do.
Well, or wait a minute. Next election, we could get them really quick. Hmm.
Uh-huh.
Hmm.
My
Oh, if he allows
concern
to have
about that
one.
is
He's still
if there
trying to
is a
create
next.
some kind of war so we don't have one.
It's not going to happen. Vita, you know what? There are actually a handful of decent Republicans left in Congress that might actually stand up, but I'm praying. I'm praying.
When are they going to stand up?
Not
I'm tired of
soon
waiting
enough.
for them. Ugh.
Not soon enough.
I think they'll be voted out of office or they're retiring. There are so many now that
Yeah.
are just giving up
No, I
too.
like the
So
fact that some of them are quitting because they're such cowards. Once again,
quitting is
what are
great.
the
I think they should try it. I think
they
we
should,
should try quitting. It's a beautiful thing.
yeah,
Uh,
hey Republicans, quit, mother effers.
at the end of this movie, though,
Yeah,
the young boy,
Papa comes back. Papa comes back. Papa comes
yeah,
back.
and we find out that Sarah survived the rest of the war. She was able to go back to school, and her friends are there. And again, we
Yeah.
see that moment of kids are resilient. She
Yes.
goes back to school and
Yeah.
tries to re-enter her life. It's all different, but not
Yeah.
so
Never
much.
be the same again. But yeah,
And then again, her dad, like you said, her dad does survive. Her mother does not.
no.
But when it comes down to it, she ends up with three parents,
Yep.
and
Which,
they're
yeah, which is bittersweet. I would say it's bittersweet. It's not sweet. It's bittersweet. And she has come out of this not unscathed, not unbowed, as they say, but
right.
she's come out of it stronger. And she's an amazing artist who expresses her frustration with life through her art form, her artworks, and she has become an internationally famous artist.
Mhm.
And this is at the I cry. Do you? She says to her grandson, do you understand why I needed to tell you this story? And it's like, yeah, America, do you need to understand why we are telling you this story?
Yeah.
Still,
It's
he still has her white bird.
and she still has the carved bird that he'd given her. Yes,
Yep.
and
Yep.
again, a perfect pure moment of innocence that
Oh,
she's
yeah,
carried
yeah.
with her whole life.
The rest, yes, yes. I love
And
that. I
yeah,
love,
And the grandson was named Julian.
yes, of course. And she says hatred is not normal, and it is not normal.
no,
Folks. Hatred is not
no.
normal.
This is what
It
gets
must
me
be.
about.
It must. It must. But it must be something. It must be protect. I can't read my handwriting again. Go ahead.
It's okay. The parallel I draw between Hitler's administration and Trump's administration is that neither could rule with strength, and so they
No,
decided to rule with fear. And
with
when you
fear.
rule with fear, it's the easier path because everybody has fear.
Yes.
It
Hmm.
takes a hell of a lot of strength to go, you're telling me to be afraid of something I'm not afraid of. And
No,
there are
I'm
other
not.
problems and reasons in the world why, eggs were $4 a carton because there was an epidemic going
I
through the
know.
chickens,
Yeah,
not because
yeah.
Biden was president.
No, no. I mean, it's insane. It's insane. I don't. I could take that speech in Davos and just basically tear it apart word by word because the man is freaking insane. But anyway, he's senile. He's got what prefrontal cortex dementia or whatever they call
He
it.
has a
The same thing.
billion things wrong with him.
Yeah, he is a narcissistic, a sociopath. He is. Yeah, he is. He just wants money, 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 money.
Well, they say
And that's
he's
another
he's
thing.
pocketed like over $1 billion. This
Or
one,
more. He is
Yeah, no, it's
raping this
over a billion. It's over a
Yeah,
billion. Five
yes,
hundred million is sitting right in a bank right now, rather than in the
in
U.S. Treasury, and that's Venezuelan oil money.
it
right.
If
is
you
weird.
also notice, you know how he was bombing all these boats because
Yeah.
of drugs? After
Hmm.
Venezuela, he hasn't bombed a single
Isn't
drug
that funny?
boat
He
yet
just wanted the
since.
oil. He just wanted the
Yeah,
oil.
Oh
for
yeah,
his buddies, he wants his oil buddies to make money, and he's getting a cut off of it too.
But
You
the
know?
thing is that everybody into that meeting and said, we can't process this oil is dirty. It's going
Yeah,
to cost us too much. So you have to underwrite us. That American taxpayer has to underwrite the mega
well,
rich oil companies that have more money than God and underwrite us so that we can develop this technology in Venezuela. And yeah, they have oil, but it's dirty. We have better oil here, but we don't need oil. We need solar and wind and
right,
yeah,
alternative
right.
energies. And this crap
absolutely.
about, ah, the man
And we
is
don't need
so,
oil. We need full bellies in our children when they're going to
yeah,
school.
and
We
healthcare
need
and
Right.
adults
healthcare.
who have the ability to call in sick and go to the doctor and not lose their home because that week they were sick.
Exactly.
Right.
We
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
we
One
need
of the
a
things about
system that actually does support mothers who are pregnant, families who are working, children
yes.
who are trying to improve their lives so they can do a little better than their parents.
You know what? One thing the Biden administration did do was stop medical bankruptcies or medical bills from causing people to go bankrupt. You could not go bankrupt if your medical bill was in play because we all have to have medical care and our country does not offer it to us like the Danish government does to Greenland and Denmark.
Oh no, we're the
Uh,
only developed country that does not
Right.
have a
Right.
national health
Yeah.
plan.
Yeah.
amen.
Yep. Yep.
And, but we have, well, I'm not going to go into that. That's just another whole show.
But
Anyway,
we pay more per person for our health
per,
care.
yes, and we get possibly less health care than other nations do.
Exactly. So as a nation, as a people, we have decided that to make sure only the right people have health
Uh-huh.
care, we'll be
Right.
Yeah,
paying more.
yeah,
Right.
or only we don't want the rich people to have to pay taxes because if they were taxed at least 10%, we could pay for all these programs and not have a
Oh yeah.
bankrupt government.
Oh
Oh,
yeah.
duh. I mean, if we did tax them at 20%, like let's see, Eisenhower, they taxed them at 98%. And guess what?
And
We
we're
built
not even
the road.
asking for that. I love it when people
Oh,
say if we tax these businesses, they'll leave. Let them leave. The
Yeah.
ones that stick around to pay the taxes are still going to be paying more than nobody paying those taxes.
well, the other question is why the fuck are they living here? They're living here because of the freedoms that they are abusing. They are
Hmm.
using and abusing. Yeah, yeah, and I love the idea that came out of
We're a country of oligarchs. This
yes,
is where
yes.
the oligarchs are living right here.
Or you could call them old white men because I call them the old white men and the oligarchs. They're the same people. You know, I'm sorry. There might be a few other race bajillionaires in there, but you know, I just wish the world would just really come down hard on him. They were too nice to him in Davos. They're too nice to him at the
Oh,
United Nations. They are treating this man like he's a normal person, and he is not.
He's
He
not.
is insane. He's insane. He's senile. He is a little boy. He is a toddler that his parents never loved, and he's never going to make up for that in his life. Any psychologist can tell you that's a hole you can't fill.
No.
It's just, and he is going to destroy this world for his own ego. He doesn't
Yep.
care. He don't care. He's an insane madman. I mean, Hitler was worse because Hitler had a brain. Trump doesn't even have a fucking brain. I'm sorry. He's not even as
No, but
Oh,
he's
he
enough
doesn't.
people
No.
pulling his
He-
strings.
yeah,
Yeah.
he's
Problem.
yeah. But as some commentator said the other day, no, you're not Hitler, Trump, because Hitler actually had the majority of the vote in Germany, which is not a good thing. But
Oh, yeah.
Trump has never had a majority of the vote. As much as he lies about it, he has never done that. Anyway,
No.
Whitebird. It's a beautiful movie. I'm going to watch it again. It made me cry.
I am too. I am too.
It touched my heart, and once again, I did not look up the name of the cinematographer, but I love good cinematography. I think if I went into film, I would go into cinematography because it's just so important to me how to frame those shots and to build those scenes and to make
Oh
them,
yeah.
they're like they do in Outlander, our favorite show.
Yes. Get the lighting right. Make sure that the
Yeah.
the set is
Oh.
dressed properly. Everything is
Good Fog
beautiful.
in this show. Yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
Here
Well-
for this one though was more the realism. You could believe that that was a
Yes.
barn that somebody was living in. You believed that that was a school that the children were going to. Everything was dressed
Yes.
well, and it was according to the time.
Yeah.
The type of things that were their desks were very much the desks you would expect to see
Yes,
in a 1940s classroom in France
Yes.
in an old church repurposed to be a school. Everything was beautiful.
Yes, it was. It was a gorgeous film. If you love film, you just love the development of a film, you should watch this movie simply because of that. But I don't know the names of the younger actors, but I have great hopes for them because they are beautiful in this film.
Yes.
If you
Yeah.
need a reminder and a history lesson, it's a good
Yeah.
one without having to get as graphic as Schindler's List. Schindler's
Yeah,
List can
Schindler's
be really tough
Yeah.
for a lot of folks.
When you have
Yes.
to choose between your son and your daughter, that is an ugly choice that you should never have to make in your life. And the fact that's why Schindler's List was so powerful. Simply because of that. No mother.
Shirley's not ready to watch it now, but each of my kids I made watch when they were 14.
Wait, okay. Well, I would, wait till 14 with Shirley
Mhm.
because she's a
Well-
special soul. She is.
I don't want her to hurt, but she's bright enough to know what's going on is wrong. What she does see, and she does not see everything. She doesn't watch
No.
every bit of Instagrams, but
Good.
she knows.
Good.
She can hear the conversations going on with myself and my husband, and
Yeah.
she'll ask questions, but they're intelligent questions. They aren't dumb kid questions, and so
of course, no.
I try to answer them as honestly as I can. And unfortunately, sometimes those answers are just scary. There's really nothing I can do about that.
What interests me is the fact the questions they ask. It's like the questions they ask actually should draw us back to a certain point because this is the questions coming from innocence. Why this? Why that? And we're beyond that. We're like all totally caught up in the bullshit. And it's like when a child says, "Why would someone do this?" And it's like, "Oh, I have to stop and think about that for a minute."
Which
You know,
she
so
was like, "Why does it matter?" I was like, "It doesn't to us." She
It
was not
doesn't.
raised
No,
in a
it-
household where any of that
No.
mattered. She has a gay aunt. She
Yeah.
has
Yeah.
Jewish great nieces and great uncles and great aunts and
Yes.
you know,
a
we have a
diverse.
fairly
Uh.
diverse family. So
One of my favorite songs is a song by what's his name? I can't think of his name right now, but it's Mulholland Drive. And there's a line in it, no gender, creed, or race, me and the highway. And it's like, yes, I agree with that. No gender, creed, or race, me and the highway. I'm just going to go on. No gender, creed, or race. I'm just going to go on the highway and live my life out. I don't need those I don't need those categories. I don't need those boxes for people into. You know, I'm just going to
I
accept
do
them as they are.
sometimes just because I love cultures and cultural significance and how different people celebrate different things. And,
Yeah. Oh, I
I
like
love a
that
good
too.
quinceanera and a good bar mitzvah. And, I want all the differences. So,
I love Mardi Gras, and I love the
yes.
running of the bulls and all that kind of crap. I do love celebrations. I think celebrations is an important part of life. We need to recognize and worship life. Life is
Yes.
what we've got. And, you know, I don't care what you want to call it. It's not a religion. Life is what we've got. We were given life. We were given energy. We were given spirit. Make the best use of it you can, please.
And
You will be happy.
celebrate the differences between us because
Yes,
different points of
yes.
views are how we get invention, how we get
And it's
reasonable
exciting.
laws, and how we get different points of view give us art and music and stories like this.
And not
Mhm.
the food. The food, incredible.
Oh yes, no, please, yeah, no, don't even. I'm trying. The last few days, I've been slowly trying to cut out my bad stuff, and I'm trying to
Oh,
take like just 5 minutes here and there where I get some steps in, and trying to work my way towards because my blood pressure is so bad that after 5 minutes, I have hard time breathing, palpitations, a headache, because
Katie,
our world is stressing me
it,
out so
it,
badly.
well,
It's been affecting my health a lot. So
well, that's why I
I'm
got
gonna be
sick
using
lately.
my
Is because
walker too, Cynthia. It'll be all right.
oh, sweetheart. I got my blood draw today and my urinalysis. My doctor was so upset with me, and it's just like, oh yeah, it's the same shit I already knew. I'm old. I have I have
I
chronic
mean,
kidney disease, anemic. I am this. I'm that. Yeah. Okay. Right. Just don't make me have cancer, please.
no. If I were still a
Please,
big
yeah,
drinker, if
please
I were
don't.
still in my 30s, I wouldn't be able to do my daily videos because I'd just be on the floor all the time. The world depresses me right now.
Silly.
It's just the
It
truth.
is.
Eh,
Uh, all right, so
right.
this movie is definitely one that if
That you
you
should.
kind of need a little refresher on why we're upset about things today
Yeah.
and why we're afraid that it may lead to even worse things, this is bad enough. We
It's
didn't
Yeah.
need
bad, but
this, but we
It's only
certainly
year
don't need it
one.
going. God,
yeah.
don't even
It's
Yeah.
say that.
only
That's
year
what's. Oh
one.
my God.
Vita. Midterms. Think midterms.
I'm
Magic
just,
mid.
I know I hate to be pessimistic about this, but I'm afraid.
Oh,
I'm afraid of what he's going to do, that there's not going to be, because what is he going to do? He's going to lose. I mean, he's going to
Oh
lose,
yeah.
but what's he going to do? But what's he going to do? Because he's not going to leave
another
peacefully. You
insurrection.
know that.
You're thinking another insurrection he's going to do. You think? I think at this point in time, there's enough Republicans starting to get upset in Congress that they are starting to speak up because of the danger to NATO. They didn't give a shit if it kills people in America, but they're worried about their NATO alliance because these are globalists. And not that I'm a totally anti-globalist because we are in a global community, but the globalist thingy is like a totalitarian. What are those guys
Yeah.
called?
This is.
Plutocrat.
It's not.
But
This is not
yeah,
what we're talking about.
it's no.
Whew. All right, back to
Ooh,
this movie one more time because I am gonna. I told my husband I try to keep it at about an hour and a half, and we're just about over that. So
A
I'm
little bit
going to
of that.
say thank you. This is a
Thank you,
movie that
Katie.
we all
Thank you,
recommend.
Cynthia.
Yes, thank you,
Vita,
Vita, and thank you,
Vita,
Cynthia.
Vita, it's good to see you, darling. I love talking with you.
Same here. Same here, my love. Okay, well,
Okay,
you guys take care, and
you too.
uh
You
and
know,
good
Well,
we,
chat.
I just
hey,
want to say
I
real
was
quick that Saunders given it a 4.5 out of 5.
yeah.
This movie,
Viva la
I
humanité.
personally give it a
Viva la
5.
Oh
humanité.
yeah,
Viva la resistance.
Vive,
viva la
vive la
yeah.
humanitarian.
I can't even say it.
Vive resistance. Resistance.
Vive la
Resistance.
resistance, vive la humanitaire. Is it a humanitarian?
Ah, vive la humanitaire. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, we're
We
gonna
gotta
go. I'm
viva
gonna
ourselves. At
what?
any rate, you definitely need to watch this if you need a refresher on World War II and the not even all of the atrocities, just one simple story about one
Yeah,
simple girl whose life was completely uprooted because of
and one
political
simple boy.
choices she had no control over.
No,
No,
because we
no
live in a
control.
because we live in a hateful world. that she could not understand it. I cannot understand hatefulness. No.
Well,
But
I
And
mean,
you
not
know
just
what?
only the hatefulness,
I
but
don't
the
really hate anybody.
cruelty. The cruelty. It's the
Cruel.
cruelty. Ugh.
I know.
Lack of
All right,
heart.
ladies. Good night. Love you.
Good
Love you.
night.
Love you too.
This is
Love
a
you
Love you
guys.
beautiful,
Thank
guys.
you.
beautiful movie. Please watch it if you're smart. Anyway, good night, Jackie. Hi,
Or
peeps.
else we'll come after you.
Good night, everyone.
Good
Good night,
night,
guys.
loves.
Thank you very much. Have a good night.
Bye.
I can't find my out. Oh, fuck.
I'll do it. Hold on. There we go. I can make it all end with my very powerful ability to push a button. Thank you so much, Jackie and Sandra, for sticking through with us through the whole chat. I know a few people came in and out. This was a rough one to talk about simply because it really is hard to stay on topic of just the movie because there are so many parallels right now. If you are in a state where things are becoming more difficult, occupied, Jackie, this is for you, but for others as well. Please be safe. Please don't take any chances. Um, but at the same time, I want to encourage you to make your voice heard in whatever way is possible. Rather, that is calling your representatives, calling and boycotting businesses. If you are able to be an activist in any way, do so. Every single voice adds up, and hopefully, if enough of us stand up, we'll be able to make changes, even if we have to wait until midterms to get it done. Love you all. Please do give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed the discussion, so that it will go in the YouTube algorithm as something worthy of listening to. Thumbs down if you disliked it. And of course, keep comments respectful. I very rarely say that. Please keep comments respectful, regardless of what your views are on the movie or things going on in the world. We can always talk, but let's keep our discourse just, courteous. Love you all. Thank you to everybody who supports this channel in whatever form you do. I am going to head off and wish you all a very good night and a safe night. And